Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Todd Baginski, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of this really cool code sample that we built along with the folks at Microsoft to demonstrate how you can create line of business applications inside of Microsoft Teams. We're also demonstrating here how you can use the Microsoft Graph API to interact with all the various Office 365 services inside of this Teams app. And we're also going to extend this to show you how the SharePoint framework can be part of this overall solution as well. So let's get started. I'm going to walk you through the demo process here, and if you found this video, in the link to the video, you're going to see a link to the GitHub repository where this code is stored. Maybe you found the video because you've already been in that GitHub repository, but one way or the other, you have access to all this code. And the process that I'm going to run through right now in this demo is actually listed in the readme.md file in the root of that repository. And so here we go with how this process works. So the demo starts in Microsoft Teams. Here you can see I'm in a Microsoft team called Contoso Executives, and I'm in the general channel, and I have that pinned here in Teams. I need to do a meeting. I need to set up a meeting with other people who I work with. And so I'm going to click the Meeting Capture tab, and that opens up our website here. This is our custom Teams app we're looking at. And notice how we branded it to look exactly like all the other Microsoft branding here as well. And so here we can see a meeting I made earlier this morning for test case, and any meetings that you put into this system, they'll always be available for you here, so you can get all this data in one spot instead of sifting through Outlook and wherever else you have your meeting information. So to create a new meeting, we're going to click the button called Create Meeting. And I'll give it a title here, and I'll just call this My Great Meeting. And then I'm going to select who should be a member. Well, the people we add by default here are the people we work with the most of the time, that we find out that from the Graph API. We add in the current user, which is the tenant admin, who I'm logged in as. My other account in this tenant is also here, and then another account called Chris Gray. These are the attendees. I can add in another one if I like here, by like adding in Alex or anybody else from my org with this nice people picker. Many of the controls you're seeing on here come from the Graph Toolkit, and so you can easily repurpose them, as we've done here, to accelerate development time. After we've added the attendees, I'd like to pick the date, and so I'm going to stick with tomorrow here and how long I would like this meeting to last, and then I click Find Available Times. And this is going to go fine, and you can see these people are tied up at these times, so that's not a good chance, but oh, here at 9 we've got availability, so I'll pick that. Then I can put in my agenda items here. I can put in like agenda item 1. I can add agenda item 2 and 3 here as well. However many you like is fine. If you wish to add a 4th one, you can do that. You can also delete them. I can also attach any documents people need to read before the meeting starts. So let's go and upload a PowerPoint and Excel, and let's toss in a Word document there as well. So maybe these are things people need to read ahead of time. So I'm going to upload all those, and now I'm going to hit save. At this point, when I hit save, a bunch of things are happening. First, we're using the Graph API to do all this stuff. We are creating a meeting in Outlook. We are inviting all those people. We're uploading all those documents to the SharePoint document library associated with this team. We are also creating tasks inside of Planner to tell people to go do the pre-reading, and we're making one task for each meeting attendee per document we upload. We are also writing data to a SQL server to help us keep track of those meeting tasks, as well as the association of which meeting and channel and team was this inside of. The idea is this app can be deployed to any channel and any team you have, and it will always keep track of the meetings associated with that channel in that team that you're working with it in. So as we can see, the meeting has been created here, and then when I hit OK, it'll come back and it'll go to the list there. So if I go over to my Outlook email now, I should see inside of my Outlook email that we have that new meeting that got dropped onto my calendar. So if I go out and check my calendar here and look to tomorrow, there's my great meeting. And if we pop this out, we can see all the details. Really nice formatted email here. Here's our agenda items, links to take me right to the attachments, a link to join the Teams meeting, and also who is in the meeting here you can see as well. So we've put that in there, and now we're going to pretend that some time occurs, between the time I sent that meeting invite and we need to actually attend the meeting. And so in the interim, what happens is, you're not going to see this right now, but there's an Azure web job continually running in the background. And it is looking to see if there's any pre-read tasks that I have not completed that are coming up for meetings less than 24 hours or 1 day in advance of right now. And if that web job finds that's the case and there's pre-read tasks I haven't done, it's actually going to send me an actionable message in Outlook to tell me to go read those things and take me right to those tasks. There's other ways I can prep for the meeting too, and that one is this tab right here called Meeting Tasks. What you're about to see here is actually a SharePoint Framework web part, which is using the Graph API and the Graph Toolkit to pull out all of the meetings as well. So we have this embedded here in Teams, but you could also embed this web part directly in a SharePoint site as well. When I click on one of the meetings, I can see the tasks that were assigned to me. Remember, I uploaded a Word, Excel, and PowerPoint document, so according to the way this works, I'm going to have a pre-read task created for me for all these. I can also look at the tasks that were created for everybody in the meeting as well. If we come back and take a look at a couple of the other things before the meeting, I mentioned that when we upload files ahead of time, we're putting them into SharePoint. And here we can see the Migrate Meeting folder we made automatically and uploaded these documents. Back in Planner, we can see the list of the tasks that my SharePoint Framework web part was looking at. And here they are for Migrate Meeting. And you can see for the Word pre-read, Tenant Admin, My Account, and Chris Gray, all 3 attendees of the meeting, now have this task set aside for them to do. They also have a link to get to that document when it's due by the day of the meeting. And notice it's also stored inside of a bucket that correlates to the name of the meeting and the day it's on. This way we don't have to have a lot of different planners set up. So time goes by, we've done our pre-reading tasks and various things like that, and now it's time for the meeting. So when the meeting occurs, this is really one of my favorite parts, and I really love how we can do this all from one spot. And so I'm ready for the meeting, I'm going to go launch it, and now I have an experience where I can actually participate in the meeting, take notes, and assign tasks at the same time. Notice we're using the Graph API to indicate if these attendees have indicated they are going to be in the meeting or not. Right now they're both unknown because, as you saw, I didn't log into their accounts and accept the invite. However, this account here, the one that we made the meeting with, obviously has accepted because it made the invite, and we can see that. If someone said no, we have another indicator for that too. Here's the agenda items so we know what we're talking about. Here's the links to all the pre-reads and a place to take notes. You'll notice we don't have any tasks put in here right now. We're actually filtering out the pre-read tasks here, but we can create new ones. So maybe I take some notes. And as you can see here, we baked in a rich text editor to give us some ability to do things like that or this. And you can see just a nice variety of the ability to take some good notes. Things like putting in links here as well are a capability. We can save these notes throughout the meeting, however we see fit. And when we save those notes, they're actually going to go in the OneNote associated with this team, and we're going to make a new page for each meeting. So I'll show you that in a bit. The other thing we can do is we can make tasks here for the meeting. So I can say, okay, I have a task for Todd to do something, and I am going to assign that to Todd, obviously. And when do I need that done by? I need that done by tomorrow, let's say. And so now I just created a task there in Planner, and if I bounced back to Planner, you'd see it in there immediately. When the meeting is all done and we're done with our notes and we've made all the tasks we need to do, then what we're going to do is we're going to click the Publish button. When we click the Publish button, it's going to take all of this information and it's going to put it in various places. You probably just heard the chime on my computer that I got a new email. As I showed you before, inside of Planner, we had the tasks to do things, and now we have an additional task, and notice it's not marked as pre-reading task. So there's a task associated with that meeting. And if I head over to the notebook here, inside of the notebook, here I can see my great meeting. I just created a new page for that. And here's my notes, exactly how they were inside of the Meeting Capture app. In addition to that, we now have the follow-up email that got sent. And I really like looking at this one. It's such a pretty email. So here you can see this is my great meeting. This is when it took place. Here's who attended. Here is the agenda, the tasks that were open still to do when the meeting finished. And then a link to go right to the notes in OneNote, and my notes right here too. So as you can see, we've got a really nice system here that allows us to follow up on these meetings. And let's say down the road, we forgot what happened in that meeting, but we needed to refer back to it. We can come back to the Meeting Capture tab here anytime we want, and we can launch into that meeting and we can see and get at all that information too. So there's an end-to-end walkthrough of the functionality in this application. We hope it comes in very handy for you and look forward to seeing how you extend it for your own organization. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.